Welcome to the Pearl Diaries by Everything Uganda. We are here to stop you from just scrolling through beautiful travel reels and actually get you on the road. Today we're dissecting a trip which for some of you, or even most of you, these places are just in your backyard, and yet they hold some of Uganda's biggest and strongest history. This is the ultimate Kampala faith tour. We're going to be discussing the towering heights of the Gaddafi Mosque, the elite silence of the Baha'i Temple, and the goosebump-inducing history of the Namugongo Martyrs Anglican Shrine. And to help break down this massive spiritual and physical trek is our very own, the woman who brought these places to life through our vlogs, Logose Patience. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. What an introduction, girl.
Right. Hi.
Damn, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, honestly speaking. Yeah.
So, your reels were incredibly cinematic. Did you go to all these places all in one day?
No, I actually did Namugongo Shrine. It's the museum as well, the Anglican Shrine. Then I also did the Baha'i Temple on the same day. And then I did Gaddafi on another day.
Ah, okay. So what was the first thing that took you by surprise when you went to all these three independent places?
I think almost everything took me by surprise because everything I studied in class is not particularly what I found on ground, which everything is just amusing.
Everything is just amusing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the difference in, so this is a very high energy incentive activity, right? You're going to Gaddafi, you're moving 300 steps up and down and everything, then you're going to this very quiet place. What do you think that entire experience does for somebody's mental space?
I think it's really great for everyone's mental space to actually go through all these things. Why? First and foremost, when you go up the minaret of the Gaddafi, it has about 304 steps to the very top. You're able to see all the 7 hills of Kampala and the breeze, the wind that's just hitting you. I literally almost felt like I was going to fall off the building.
Yeah.
The wind was too much. I think it's because I should eat some food. But the point is, there's so much fresh air. However hot it is, it's a calming vibe. You get to listen to your own thoughts. You don't even hear a lot of like the Kampala noise from down
So this is the
side.
Gaddafi Mosque.
This
This is the minaret, I'm assuming?
Yeah, the minaret.
Okay.
On the top of the minaret.
Right.
And for Baha'i Temple, they already have rules governing the place. They don't like so much noise. So it has this calming kind of nature where you can also meditate. They have beautiful scenery, the grass, the building itself that has 9 doors. That's going to be another whole conversation. I think these religious sites have a very calming kind of like feature to them. Yeah.
Coincidentally, I have been to both places. I climbed the minaret as well. That was an activity. I loved it. The wind, yes, I completely agree. For us, we didn't get to experience a quiet visit because I think it was around lunchtime, which is one of their prayers goes off, and so that's one of the announcers. So that standing right next to it is incredibly loud. But I also coincidentally went to Baha'i Temple. My fascination with Baha'i Temple is a little different. My fascination with Baha'i Temple is about the entire culture of the oneness. For me, going to all these places that have 3 independent religious backgrounds, and yet all of them have this welcoming one. It's like everyone can go to Gaddafi Mosque, everyone can go into Baha'i Temple, everyone can go to the shrine. Like I used to think that the limitation was like, oh, you're Muslim, you can't come in here,
true.
or you're Catholic, or you can't do this. And then for it to just be, I think, why does it have 9 doors, Baha'i?
So Baha'i has 9 doors because all the 9 doors signify or stand for the different religious 9 sects, the major ones, the big ones. Baha'i Temple has a very fascinating ideology behind it because the Baha'i faith believes in oneness.
Yes.
So when you said oneness, I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty nice because Baha'i like has the whole thing in one.
Yeah.
So they believe that whether you're Christian, Muslim, wherever you're coming from, we can all meet together and worship one God or be in the same space and provide some sort of like oneness. So yeah, the 9 doors, different 9 sects of the religions.
Most people like the Baha'i Temple for things like picnics, chilling. And I'm sure you had one of those. I'm pretty sure I saw a status. I wasn't stalking or nothing, but I'm pretty sure I saw you at Baha'i Temple with a whole bunch of friends celebrating like a birthday. Do you think you have like a special spot there, or are you like open to exploring and finding new spots every time you go?
I'm open to finding new spots every time I go. Even the first time I went, where we sat behind. I don't even know if it was behind, honestly speaking, but yes, we did sit behind the temple, and I had not taken time to notice that side of the temple.
Yeah.
So of course, if I'm going back, I am going to go visit other sides down at the extra side near the gate. There's
I went to the cemetery.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
Weird, because it's like you're towering over the dead. So for me, already like the feelings around it are just like, okay, respect and everything. Also, the history of it is very gruesome. They were killed by Idi Amin, if I'm not mistaken. Long story, but yeah, the whole family was cleared.
The Baha'i family was cleared by Idi Amin. That's interesting.
How come you didn't get there?
No, I didn't get into that detail.
No, I know I have it somewhere. So I don't want to misinform, but I do know that the history of how that happened was a little bit gruesome, and I would just encourage people to just read up on it, or even just go there by themselves and just get like a guide to give them like much better information. But yeah, I reached that side.
Well, wow, no wonder we only have one of the temples in Africa, yeah?
Isn't it the biggest?
It is the biggest and the only temple in Africa.
A very dark joke came, so I'm just going to skedaddle over that one. The Namugongo Anglican Shrine carries some incredibly heavy emotional history, and its museum has undergone a massive transformation with lifelike structural exhibits. As someone with a background in drama and production, how well do you think the staging of the museum guides a visitor through the intensity of the stories, and what was the moment that gave you actual literal goosebumps?
I think in all my visits, the Namugongo Shrine or the Martyrs Museum was the most fascinating because of where they built it. Its location is in the exact same place that most of the big events under the Martyrs' deaths happened. We have the museum is being built around Mukajanga's execution area, near his office where they were burnt, in the cells where they were kept, on the tree where they were tortured. And I don't know, as a drama and film student, I feel like it's a beautiful thing to keep art and history in such a kind of manner, where I also give props. Wow, I give so much props to the artist that did the figures and the statues representing the different martyrs. They did such great work. And when we were working with the tour guide, they went ahead to be like the tree where they were killed. Part of it kept on being picked up by people who came to visit, but now a smaller part of it is kept in a box just away, so they can like keep the real I don't want to call it a prototype because that's already a prototype. The real tree on where they were killed. I'm trying to remember the name.
Why were they picking at it?
Where were they? People, like the tour guide said, that people feel like the tree or different things in this area carry blessings because blood of the people who were blessed or purified people, the martyrs, that where their blood was spilled, they feel like that's where blessings flow. Some Christians have a very...
Okay, so let me see if I understand this, right? So there's a place at the Namugongo Martyrs Anglican Shrine that is believed to have been the exact spot where the martyrs were killed.
Some of the martyrs were killed.
Some.
There are about 20 to 25 martyrs who were killed in that area, including the princess as well.
Okay. Yeah. So was that like the group incineration, or was that like the individual killings?
There was a group incineration and individual killings in this exact spot around Mukajanga's executioner's area.
So you have mentioned that there's a water, I don't know if it's like a fountain or like a pond, where they believe that this is where all the blood was shed. And so that's the water that in turn is purified.
Even the place where the tree was kept, right? So where they were killed, some were tortured as well under that tree. I don't want to butcher the name, right? We shall put the name just down here. I don't want to butcher the name.
Or they can go there and see it for themselves, yeah?
So they made a prototype kind of like tree, because the initial tree where they were killed, people who used to visit earlier used to come and pick at the tree and take parts of the tree. So why they used to take parts of this tree, they believed that it was a blessed or ordained tree because this is where some of the martyrs' blood was spilled. And they also wanted to just keep like something to remember.
Yeah.
And then you talked about the pond or the well where they also believe that the water is purified.
Yeah.
Well, after all the killings happened, I believe the executioner and his soldiers, there's a certain kind of humanity where people feel like this is so wrong.
Right.
You remember in the Bible, Pontius Pilate, before he was going to send Jesus Christ to get crucified, same person, 3 in 1.
Yes.
We're gonna send Jesus to get crucified. He washed his hands and said, I am not part of this decision. I believe, this is my own opinion.
Okay.
I believe that the soldiers and Mukajanga, when they were washing their blades or the equipment they used to kill or harm the martyrs, was washed in this well to clear away the guilt.
So how does that in turn purify the water?
Well, that's where they washed their blades and the blood touched the well, the water in the well. So Christians also believe that...
Is this an open water body or is it a pond?
It's a well.
It's a well.
It's a well-like pond thing.
Because I would assume that for purification to happen, and I'm going to use my very limited science knowledge, but I would think there would have to be like flowing water, sort of something that can switch the bloody water into clearer water to become blessed. Otherwise, it would then just be contaminated.
So, with
blood. Which you would be getting ghosts instead, wouldn't you?
No, you won't. Religion is a very interesting thing. I'm gonna just put you up to speed with what the Christians in Uganda, why they like to take that water. See, symbolism in our religion is basically around that. I mean, we drink wine from church. Sorry, we take wine as the blood of Jesus, right?
Yes.
So also here, where these martyrs' blood got spilled and where these gentlemen washed their blades in the water, of course, the water that had the blood is long gone, right? But the church came up with a system where people can access this water because they believe that it can heal diseases, that it's pure, it's blessed water. And I mean, everybody gotta believe what they gotta believe. We have to believe in something, but there is a purification system for this water. It's very safe for drinking.
Okay.
The church came up with a system where the water passes through a few brick stones and purifies it. It's like I don't want to say it's old, it's clearly scientifically proven to be good. So yeah, the water is really safe.
Okay, patients, we're going in for a quick detour. This is the fork in the road. It is rapid fire travel ultimatums. 3 seconds to answer. No overthinking.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I hope so, honestly speaking.
All right. Round 1. Sprinting all the way up the Gaddafi minaret steps in the heavy midnight heat, or walking the entire expansive sunny outpaths of the Namugongo shrine with zero shed.
Running up the minaret.
Why? Because you're a runner, you're a rock star?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to have some fresh air at the end of it, yeah.
Okay, number 2. Trying to take an aesthetic cinematic panning shot while keeping a straight face at the towering Gaddafi architecture, or trying not to accidentally breathe too loudly inside the ultra quiet Bahai Temple Dome.
Trying not to breathe too loudly. You have to be really quiet in there.
Okay, number 3. Getting completely stuck in the legendary downtown Kampala traffic jam right between the tower stops, or having your main camera battery blink red at the golden hour at the exact time the golden hour hits the Bahai Gardens.
Getting stuck in traffic between the towers.
Yeah?
Any day, anytime. Look, my camera, no tripod, no power bank, no battery, I'm dead. I'm crying. I'm a content creator. Life's not going to be great. What am I even going to show my kids?
What kids?
I don't know, man.
Question number 4. If you had to pack up your life right now, are you seeking permanent, peaceful retirement in the Bahai Gardens, or are you looking for the high-energy, historic views from the top of old Kampala?
High-energy, historic views. I'm looking through my window and I'm just seeing Kampala.
Okay, the very last question. If a Kampala faith and history tour was a relationship status on social media, is it A, complicated, or a beautiful green flag?
Complicated.
Why?
I don't want to give you that answer.
Okay, that is it for the game segment. Aside from being our amazing content queen here at Everything Uganda, personally, you also dabble as a vlogger for your own personal content, right? Now, vlogging different places, everything has different rules, regulations, do's, don'ts, and the above. So when it comes to vlogging in prominent religious spaces, and this means navigating strict rules and different dress codes, give us the messy and edited behind the scenes details. What is the one thing during these shoots across these locations that went completely left and almost got the production team in trouble?
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. When I walked into Namugongo,
Yeah.
When I met what do they call him, a vicar, a priest, I was having an open kind of like the dress. I woke up that morning believing.
Wait, was it the blue dress?
No,
that
no, no,
had
no.
the- okay.
The green dress, the
Oh,
African
okay.
green dress.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning. I really looked through my closet. Look, honestly, man, I have dresses. I have some decent clothes. But now you have to think about the fact that, you know what, where we're going to tour, we're going to do this stuff. But I also have to be comfortable. I have to still be decent. Yeah. So I picked the most decent attire I had on. And someone said, oh, yeah, next time you can come with something like covering your back and your shoulders, you know,
Oh.
but this is okay, but just next time you can just come with something covering your shoulders. And also when I went into the Baha'i temple, they didn't really have too many restrictions, honestly. When I went to Baha'i temple, I was wearing an overshoulder, but a long skirt. But even the times when we went there after for the picnic with the friends for a friend's child's birthday party, they didn't have any dress code kind of like issue because you can go there in your jeans, but please be decent. It's still a religious area. We just want you to be decent. The one that I know and everyone must know has strict dress code is Gaddafi
Yep.
Mosque. I got there and I was told to veil. Of course, I didn't have an issue with it.
Yeah,
This is protocol and whatever. But I really don't suggest going there in jeans.
Yeah.
You know, I don't suggest going there in skimpy clothes because they will find something to wrap you up with, which you might also be uncomfortable
Yeah.
with. So it's just better to go ready and to avoid certain production things, or even you to avoid ruining your tour, honestly
Yeah.
speaking. Yeah.
I faced some of that at Gaddafi, but I think I was pretty decent. I had like a long trouser, I had an abaya, but then yes, I had to veil and everything. But every single time the wind accidentally blew it to the point where my skin kind of showed up, there was like police everywhere, like, Nyabo. I was like, oh, okay. I got it. So every sacred place has a very distinct sensory identity. If you close your eyes right now, what is the exact sound, sight, or scent that instantly teleports you straight back to Namugongo, Baha'i, or Gaddafi?
For Baha'i, of course, it's going to be the first. You know, there's that nature kind of like scent of different trees, beautiful flowers. It's a nice scent. It's clean. It's really natural
really
and clean.
clean, yeah.
And it's really quiet. So you have a perfect getaway scene. For the Gaddafi Mosque, when I close my eyes, I think it's the wind, the heavy wind at the top of the minaret. And you know, it's just also there's no clear sound. It's just clear air because it's really up there. The air is fresh, everything's great. The sound is light sounds from the Kampala traffic way down there. It's kind of distant because you're all the way up.
Right.
For Namugongo, I think the scent or the sight that takes me back is the tree. The tree around where they put all the statues and the figures of the martyrs who are being tortured. I remember that tree. Even when I look through my phone and I look at that, I get a few goosebumps because this artist didn't play. I'm telling you, according to me, he didn't really play with showing how some of these things were gruesomely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept it
kept it.
original.
We don't know. We shall never know.
It came close. Let's call out our fellow neighbors. Kampala locals drive past these signs for these world-class architecture wonders every single day on their commute, but never stop inside. What is the absolute mistake locals make when they're looking at these spots?
You know, when they say a priest is never respected in his own home, I think that's what Ugandans are heavy practitioners of this thing. Because when people come here to visit Kampala sites, Ugandan sites, most of the times you find these travelers are actually well versed with their own tourist attractions in
Yes.
their homes. Before they leave, they try to know and try to see what is in their countries. Ugandans, I also am a victim of this. I passed by Baha'i Temple my whole life until one day I said, you know what? Let me go check this out. I've never been to Gaddafi Mosque and I studied around the Mengo Makerere Hills my whole life. And also when I began talking to other people, I began realizing that they only know what was taught to them in school, what they hear people talk about, as to why Ugandans think we are even restricted from getting to these places because they don't bother finding out. I really think Ugandans or Kampala dwellers should find some time, get to understand. Yeah, I stay in Chisasi, but I don't know what Bahai Temple is. Be for real. You should really know what
You
Bahai.
actually stay along Bahai Road.
Along Bahai Road. Osula wan, sula ku Bahai, man. Omanyi Bahai Temple, neda sibanga yoba.
I just see it. Maybe I don't know.
No, and then you're running to go and see what in Zanzibar, my friend. Be for real.
Right? Diani, what? We just see people's names.
First, find out what's going on in your home. I'm shocked to find out if I find any Muslim who has never been to Gaddafi Mosque, that's going to be another issue. Honestly speaking, I think Ugandans, Kampala people should learn to understand different things in their country, even the slightest of things. Now, for example, I stay along Chitante Lane, right? I was once told a story. I'm yet to find out about this story. I was told that in Chitante, there was a big swamp or an extension of a lake or something like that. And cows used to come and drink water around this area. And they would die, of course, drowning in the water. That's why they say Chitante. But someone just says Chitante.
Wow, what?
Exactly. Someone told me this story. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
we have to
I
do
feel like every
research
day
on
I
this.
learned something new because I'm just sort of like recovering from Kalere, coming from the railway,
Yes.
the only one that they had. I think the only one cabin they had. So it's called it Ka Railway.
Yeah.
And then someone else said Kalere. So Chitante is about cows drowning.
Exactly, cows drowning. So I be there and I'm like, you're going to find a Ugandan who's going to know exactly which year the New York Statue of Liberty was built. Ne tamanyi why the hell his home street is called Chitante. So yeah, I really think Ugandans should start to understand exactly what their country is about.
I completely agree because I know that they drive past that Gaddafi Mosque every single time. They take a bike past the Bahai. People live in Namugongo, but no one actually takes the time to go in there. Now, if you were to give a few tips to say, we have already talked about the dress code. What other extra tips could you give to somebody as they prepare to go on these trips in terms of the entrance fees, in terms of what times are best? Just the general experience, like how can you maximize if you decided to have your trio trip in Uganda to look at, to have the ultimate Kampala Faith tour? What are the tips?
Honestly speaking, I'm going to give you one tip. To avoid having too many tips or having too much to stress on, just book a trip with Everything Uganda, to be for real. They're going to have your transport sorted, because they had my transport sorted. They had the fees for the venue sorted. The only thing you can possibly do if you want, you have to carry water though. Carry water, carry a scarf just to be on the safe side. But everything else in terms of the tour, I think they should, you who's watching, why am I even saying they? I'm talking to you. You who's watching should actually honestly just wake up in the morning, book a trip with Everything Uganda, and we make the whole thing easy for you.
Yeah, because, like we bridge that gap. You don't want stress, we take it away from you. Patience, it has been absolutely lovely having you today.
It's been nice
with the
being here.
Pal Diaries. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I mean, I did watch the vlogs, obviously. It's crazy. We're together all the time. But I watched the vlogs, but there's certain more extra information that I've also learned with the rest of the people today. So, yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I did learn something new today. I learned about the Idi Amin whole situation, right?
I need to verify that.
No, honestly, I really do think you're right.
Yeah.
No, I really do think when I look back at the whole thing, I really do think you're right, because he was trying to make Friday a public holiday for the whole of Uganda in terms of Islam. And then when this book came in, he was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's me, I know Christianity or Islam. So yeah.
Well, your job is to hit that subscribe button for the Pearl Diaries on YouTube and follow our socials on Everything Uganda. And look for our WhatsApp number and book your Kampala trip today. We'll take you around Kampala. This is the ultimate Kampala Faith tour, but do not be mistaken. We have a lot more things to see and learn about our country. Thank you so much. Till next time.